Okay, so today I'm going to be showing you guys how to drive stick. It's easier than most people think it is. It's one of those things where it's easy to learn, hard to master. It's pretty basic, although it can be kind of intimidating starting off. So you have a manual transmission. You have to shift the gears yourself, unlike an automatic. And these are what the gears look like. Okay, so here are your gears. You have first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. This is the pattern that they're in that you can see here on the shift knob. So you always start off in first, which is up and over, and then there's second, which is straight down, and then third, up again, fourth, down, and then fifth is up and over like that. You don't have to really like push over and like that to change gears. It just kind of does it itself as you push it along, and reverses up and over to the left like that. Okay, so I think learning stick is easier if you kind of understand what's going on, you know, what you're exactly doing. So unlike an automatic, as you see here, you have 3 pedals. So you have your gas and brake like every other car, but on the far left is your clutch, and this is what makes a manual really. What the clutch does is that it's basically what goes in between the engine and the transmission. So the engine creates power, it's spinning, it's turning. The clutch is what translates that to the transmission, turns the gears in there, which goes to the drive shaft, to the differential, to the axles fluids. But that's not too important, the rest of that. What is important is in between the engine and the transmission, which is what the clutch does. Attached to the engine at the end of the motor is what's called a flywheel. It's a big circular piece of metal. The clutch is what connects the flywheel to the transmission, basically. The clutch is made out of mainly two pieces. You have your pressure plate and you have your clutch disc. What happens is that when I push this clutch pedal all the way down, the clutch disengages. It's not pushing against the flywheel, so that the gears in the transmission aren't turning right now. If I let my foot off the clutch re-engages. It pushes up back against the flywheel, and that starts turning everything. One thing to keep in mind is that the clutch plate is what grabs the flywheel. The pressure plate is what pushes it against the flywheel. The clutch plate itself is made out of a material that's kind of similar to a brake pad. So what you have to be careful of when you're learning is not to burn that out. How you do that is slowly letting off the clutch, really packing a lot of heat into it, and by doing that, you know, you're either going to be giving it a lot of gas and not a lot of clutch. You know, you're going to be slipping it a lot is what it's called, and that's going to pack it full of heat. It's going to wear that material down. It smells really bad, and then you have a blown clutch, and it's a lot of money to replace. So what we're doing whenever we're using the clutch, which is every time you stop or start or shift the gear, is we're lifting it off the flywheel, and then so right now it's off the flywheel. I let my foot off, it's back on the flywheel. So when you go to launch, what you have to do is you have to slowly let it out, so it slowly grabs the flywheel. If you let it out too soon, it quickly grabs the flywheel and the motor shuts off and stops the motor from spinning. If you let out too slow, like I said, you'll burn it out. So the main thing is learning that happy medium, where you're not burning it out, but you're not letting it out too fast. And that's what everyone struggles with. So we're just going to start off here. We're going to put our e-brake down. To start, you push the clutch in, go over and up in the first gear, and then as you let off the clutch, it's going to slowly start grabbing that flywheel, slowly start engaging, and as it's doing that, you're going to give it a little bit of gas, and then while you're still slowly letting off the clutch, like so. So I'll have the clutch down, I'm going to let my foot off the brake, we're going to slowly start letting off the clutch, it starts grabbing a little bit, I gave it a little bit of gas, learning curve, and it's kind of hard to master. But once you get it, it's a ton of fun.